Are carbs making me fat? Are carbs the enemy? Should we be completely cutting carbs out of our diet? Boy, do I have a video for all of you. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this one. And what's up, everyone? Welcome to yet another Caffeine Conversation. I am your host, Coach Scott McLeod, certified personal trainer. And for those of you that don't know, Caffeine Conversations is an interactive series. So drop comments down below. Let me know what you would like to hear me talk about, see me speak about. Happy to make a video for each and every one of you. And if you've already left a comment and suggested a topic, you can continuously leave comments down below. Ask me to do more topics or just engage with the video. Let me know who you are, where you're from, what you do. I would love to hear from you. Why am I shirtless? Well, I guess that's what you gotta do these days to get views. So I ripped the shirt off to make this hot conversation about carbohydrates. Now, this video is actually stemming from a comment on a previous Caffeine Conversation. Lori G says, great video, found it very motivating. Thanks for the kind words, Lori G. Shout out. I'm wondering if you have done or could do a video specifically on carbs. I've read in numerous places that carbs are not the enemy and they can be a part of a healthy diet. I certainly know that a life without carbs would never be sustainable for me, so how do we work those in? What are your thoughts on this topic? Excellent question. Let's go. Thank you, Lori G. Shout out. So first off, let's talk about macronutrients. Proteins, carbs, fats. Your three macronutrients from which energy is derived, meaning those are the organic molecules, the macronutrients that supply our body with energy. In Lori G's comment here, she's read in numerous places that carbs are not the enemy and they can be part of a healthy diet. Yes, I love that. All macronutrients, protein, carbs, fats, all of them are a part of a healthy diet, can be a part of a healthy diet, and should be a part of a healthy diet. Being restrictive is bad. Being restrictive is bad because it is not sustainable. You're just outright restricting certain food groups, certain macronutrients. You're going to go off the rails. You're going to go crazy, especially if you love those certain food groups. Like carbs. Carbs are delicious, man. I eat a ton of carbs every single day. I eat all of the macronutrients. That's a part of my well-rounded, quote-unquote, healthy diet. I don't like the term healthy because really an energy surplus is unhealthy. The real problem is a calorie surplus, an energy surplus. That leads to increased body mass. That leads to being overweight, being classified as overweight, being classified as obese. An energy surplus, a calorie surplus. At the end of the day, it's calories in versus calories out. The real problem is your energy surplus, not a particular macronutrient or specific food group. Now back to proteins, carbs, fats, carbohydrates. We'll start there since this video is about carbs. For every gram of carbs that you eat, that's equivalent to 4 calories. So there are 4 calories in 1 gram of carbs. There are also 4 calories in 1 gram of protein. So for every gram of protein that you eat, that is equivalent to 4 calories. Now fats, on the other hand, for every gram of fats that you eat, there are 9 calories. So 9 calories per gram of fats that you are consuming. And I don't make the rules here. I'm just the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just telling you how it is, how it exists in the real world that we live in. Not some fantasy land, some made up land. This is what happens in the real world that we all live in. So when we're looking at the 3 macronutrients, proteins, carbs, fats, it is not rocket science to understand that fats are the most calorie dense of the macronutrients. That's because for 1 gram of fat, it is 9 calories, whereas with proteins and carbs, for every gram, there are only 4 calories. Fats are the most calorie dense of the macronutrients. And I did just finish ranting about how your energy surplus, your calorie surplus is the true problem and not a specific macronutrient. So if we think logically, since we now know that fats are the most energy dense or calorie dense of the macronutrients, and weight gain or weight loss comes down to an energy balance, in other words, calories in versus calories out, weight. We need to be mindful of our energy balance if we want to gain or lose weight. We should not be restrictive. All of the macronutrients should be a part of a healthy diet, and being restrictive is not sustainable, especially if you love that food group that people are telling you that you should just outright restrict. Weight gain and weight loss comes down to an energy balance. If you want to learn about losing weight, I have a video, 5 tips to lose more weight. Very, very quick, to the point. 5 great tips to lose more weight. I do have a more in-depth 20 or so minute video, the most scientifically accurate, the only way to lose weight. You need to be in an energy deficit, a calorie deficit, not restricting certain macronutrients. And we do now know that fats are actually the most energy dense of the macronutrients. So when we're pounding down full fat cheeses, full fat, not lean meats, drizzled in olive oil, coated in butter, throwing butter in our coffee, doing all of that useless nonsense out there, then we're probably going to be gaining weight, because covering our already not lean meats or full fat meats and cheeses and things similar in nature with more olive oil, more butter, throwing ghee or whatever the heck people used to throw into their coffees, all of that is energy dense and calorie dense. That leads to a calorie surplus, and your calorie surplus is the problem. That's what leads to being classified as overweight and obese, and that's what also brings on some adverse negative health effects. You become more sedentary. You are at higher risk for cardiovascular disease, for diabetes, among an array of other chronic conditions. Getting into an energy deficit, a calorie deficit to lose some weight, becoming more physically active is the best way and a primary method of prevention from an array of chronic diseases. Physical activity is perhaps the strongest predictor of death, disability, and disease. Lose some weight by getting into an energy deficit. Get out of those classifications of obesity and being overweight. Get into a healthy body fat percentage. Move your body more. Move more than last time. Be aware of your overall calorie consumption. Calories in versus calories out. There is some strong data out there comparing diets, specifically low carb diets versus low fat diets, where all other calories are equated or remain equal. And there are a lot of different conclusions that can be drawn from those types of studies, but the one that I want to focus on at a most basic level without getting too in-depth and in detail is that the problem is an energy surplus. An energy balance dictates whether you're going to gain weight or whether you're going to lose weight. Carbs are certainly not the enemy, and carbs are actually a primary source of energy for the body. Your body needs glucose, the substrate form of carbohydrates, monosaccharides, glucose. Your body needs that so much because it is the primary source of energy for your body that there are metabolic processes, one of which called gluconeogenesis, where your body actually derives glucose from non-carbohydrate substrates. In other words, the substrate form of carbohydrates is glucose, monosaccharides. Your body needs that in the production of ATP, the energy currency. Your body prefers glucose so much that it'll go out there and it'll create glucose from non-carbohydrate substrates. So the other macronutrients, your other ones being your protein and your fats, it'll derive glucose from non-carbohydrate substrate forms of proteins and fats being amino acids and fatty acids. It's going to convert those to glucose via gluconeogenesis, just a metabolic process for creating glucose from non-carbohydrate substrates. What more do you want to know about carbs? What more do you want to learn in general? Please leave your comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. As always, one video a week every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, and I'll see each and every one of you in the very next video.